Hey Skip, hey Greg,
Hey, how's it going?
hey Ben, how are you guys?
Hey Jeff, what's going on, man?
Um, just wanted to hop on here quickly. Appreciate Skip for setting this up and Ben for organizing it. Of course, Greg, excited to have you on here as well, and just appreciative of everybody in this community. It's awesome to see scrolling through who's here, um, and just excited about what we have in the future coming up. I know it's taken a while to come to fruition and things to happen, but we're appreciated of the patience, and I think we're excited about what's going to come, and hopefully everybody in the community will be excited as we roll new things out. So just wanted to say that and pass it on to Skip and Ben and Greg, and I'm excited to hopefully have these going more often.
For sure. Thank you, Jeff. I really, really appreciate it. So the way that the AMA is going to be conducted is we collected questions from the community, and Skip will ask me questions, and there's some questions for Greg, and we'll run through those, and towards the end there's some discussions and some ideas and things like that. So first of all, I want to thank Skip. Thank you for hosting this, man. I really, really appreciate it. Greg and Jeff, thank you for taking the time to pop in here. I know you guys have really busy schedules, and let's get started. And by the way, thank you to all the mods as well. You guys have really done a great job, and I really community really appreciates all the work that you guys do.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll kick it off here. The first thing that I want to do is I tossed a tweet out about an hour ago on the Zube account saying that one winner is going to be chosen out of everybody that retweeted that to win 10 million Zoo. So there's like 64 retweets. So I'm going to use the Twitter picker real quick and just pick a winner. It's drawing right now. All right, the winner is Hayden N1 Griffiths. So if that's you, just toss me a message on Twitter, and I'll get that zoo sent over to you. Congrats. All right, Ben, what do you think? You want me to start with Greg?
Yeah, we can start with Greg. One more thing that I just want to plug really quick. If this is your first time being involved in some sort of community event, you can come visit us over on Discord. The address is discord.gg/CryptoZoo. Yes, we can start with Greg.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm just plugging my phone in real quick. All right, Greg, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And I know that I can kind of speak for the whole community. Everybody really appreciates your time here. So the first question is, what was your first impression when you learned about CryptoZoo?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And it's great to have my first interaction with the community like this. Excited about this project from the moment we learned about it. So my first impression when I learned about CryptoZoo was I was kind of jumping up and down when I first moved to Los Angeles. Like every single person who moves here, you have to write a screenplay, or else they kick you out of Los Angeles. And the first thing that I started working on was a screenplay about how genetic engineering was first going to be used to combine pets and animals. And that was going to be the future of this was before CRISPR was even invented. And so when I saw that this was combining my interest in that with crypto, I thought this was a great project, and I immediately wanted to be involved. And so that was really my first impression, and it fit my background and experience and skill set. So I was it just felt like this was going to be a great project to take on.
Awesome. How long have you been developing software?
Since I'm 53 years old. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. Started my first company in grade school before Apple Computer had released their first products, using solid processor technologies to create mailing lists for people. So I've been doing it a very long time. Been writing in every language, and I love every aspect of developing software and playing with new technology. So a long time.
Awesome. And what's your what's some of your experience with NFTs?
Well, before the term NFT existed and people were using that term, really my brother, who tends to be an incredible visionary in technology, and I'm a little more focused on the implementation. So he comes up with the ideas that seem impossible, and I roll my eyes and say, well, damn it, I'll try to figure out how to build it. And he had this idea that digital objects were going to be an incredibly important part of the future of technology. And they weren't called NFTs, he called them Vatoms, as in virtual atoms, the units that make up the universe in the virtual universe. So the virtual atom. And these digital objects be anything. They were essentially NFTs. And so we've been doing this for a long time. And we've been building them. And as soon as blockchain became viable as a way to really make sure that ownership of digital objects could be trusted, or as they call it, trustless, then it really took it to the next level. So we've been doing it since the beginning.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have quite the team put together. How many people from Vatom are working on CryptoZoo?
That's a tough one to answer. We have a core team of probably about 3 developers, some working on back end, some working on front, but there's a lot more involved in that. We have teams in South Africa, we have teams in Switzerland, we have teams in Los Angeles, we have developers in Mexico, we use some outsourced companies, and there's little pieces of the technologies we're developing across the board that are going to be used to enhance the CryptoZoo experience. So we're not just building what you guys have seen, which is a simple marketplace. We're focused on a bigger concept of what people say when they say metaverse. We don't really think of the metaverse as just a 3D environment you can run around in and hello to each other. We think of it as the extension of this universe into what technology can bring to that. And that's not just environments in which you can socialize, but it's everything from how you move value around with blockchains, and how you play games, and how you have experiences from music to whatever. It's all of that put together, but it's also how that stuff all interacts with the real world. So think Pokemon Go, or think going to a festival and how you interact with technology at festivals. All of those things combine to form what we call the metaverse. And that's the focus of why we have developers around the world and a lot of investors putting in big money, trusting us to build up. CryptoZoo being a really nice project to leverage all of these things.
Awesome. And yeah, it's really cool that you guys are, building stuff for CryptoZoo. It shows how big this project truly is, and, truly will be, and the things that are going to come in the future. Can you talk a little bit about like past companies that you've worked with and some of the major successes of Vatom?
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff with lots of major companies, from the largest advertiser in the world, which I believe is Procter & Gamble. We've done a bunch of things with them. Intel has done a bunch of things with us, and at the highest levels of Intel is a deep believer in how we're pushing our vision of where we think all of this stuff is, how it's all combining to form the next generation technology experiences for the world. So they're backing us in a big way. We have everyone from iHeartRadio. We've done big events with them. They're not only investors in the company, but they're sort of defining their future strategy as one of the biggest. First of all, iHeartRadio is iHeartMedia, I should say, is one of the biggest success turnarounds in the history of business, thanks to people like Bob Pittman and others. And they are starting to define their entire corporate strategy on with how we see metaverses, NFTs, gaming, interaction with brands, all of those things coming out of what we're doing. So that's another example. We're doing stuff with the largest investors in the education space, building universities online, next generation of how learning experiences occur. We're working on other gaming related things that aren't launched yet. So those aren't out, but we are doing other gaming stuff. What else? We're working with Comic-Con. So Comic-Con is a community of people around the world, millions of people who are very passionate fans of you name it, from Marvel to DC, but also to just movies in general, and anime and all of that, and cosplay. And they are using our stuff for a mixture of what goes on at live Comic-Cons as well as virtual. So that's another project. I could go on and on. We're doing a festival tomorrow, the day after, in Spain. I think it's the largest electronic music festival called Elro. That is using a bunch of our technologies for experiences there, for collecting NFTs and doing things and getting rewards and gated access to things with it. I honestly, I could go on and on if you want me to, but that's a little sampling. I mean, just to give you a little sense of what's behind it, so it's not just brands touching consumers. We have companies like Ernst & Young and Deloitte and Touche, and I'm guessing all the big ones will follow once you have them, starting to build practices around building on our platform. So these are the biggest companies that do consulting for other companies to help them figure out their strategies in every level, choosing our technologies to build on top of in order to help companies develop their metaverse strategy or NFT strategy or tokenomics. All of those things are what people are calling Web3.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a way bigger explanation than I
I couldn't
I thought we'd get. That's
of,
awesome. No,
yeah.
I'm thrilled. Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I'm looking at the Discord chat right now, and everybody's just saying all positive things about you and Vatom and where this project's headed. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
is one of the
you know, we're also working with some of the most creative people in the world. Guy Laliberté, the founder of Cirque du Soleil, one of the few people you'll hang out with who's actually spent a long time in space. He is an incredibly creative guy who believes so strongly in the kind of thing we're doing here. He's invested in the company and he's building a massive project based on this stuff and loves everything he sees us doing with you guys. And so, yeah, there's just wonderful support coming from every angle at world-class level. So it's really kind of feels quite good right now, the direction we're heading.
I want to say that on top of that, working with Greg has been an absolute amazing experience. Very, very bright guy, very, very bright team. And it's a very, very formidable symbiotic partnership. And it's been a blast, to be honest with you.
Thank you very much, Ben. Appreciate that. There's one last thing I should mention, which is, having Logan associated with this project is certainly a wonderful thing to have one of the top influencers in the world who really knows how to connect with communities beyond just about anybody is pretty exciting. So can't discount that fact either.
Awesome. Yeah. So there's a few more questions. Let's jump into some of the more CryptoZoo specific questions that we have on here. The first one is, what's the ETA on mobile compatibility for the DApp, the marketplace, and breeding?
Okay, so there was, to give a little bit of insight, is we were careful to sort of make sure we architected this so that going to mobile would not be very hard. We even paralleled some of the design work, we paralleled some of the development work to make sure we were sitting pretty but we couldn't prioritize it because there's a lot of pressure based on what had happened in the early days of this project. There was a lot of pressure to release quickly. And including mobile would have slowed that down. So I don't know the exact dates, but from what I'm hearing, that we will be pulling the trigger on locking in a date. But I don't want to promise that because I'm not the one who actually makes that decision. So all I can say is I believe that we understand, we're hearing from the community that mobile is important, and we're taking that seriously. But I can't give a date on this call other than to say that it shouldn't be too crazy hard. And hopefully the decision is made soon to either do it, or if we don't do it, we'll let you all know. But that's sort of my perspective on what I'm hearing.
The word that I have trademarked is soon.
Yeah, which is annoying not to be able to give a date, but there you have it. We got to be careful giving dates we can't keep. So we're going to try to be really disciplined with that because we don't want to create a culture of disappointing you guys. We want to create something where we deliver on time and make everyone excited about what's going on. So,
Greg, also we talked about it too on the mobile versus the desktop was, a lot of the Web3 and crypto components and other projects are built very heavily focused on PC and computer focus for reasons, right? There's only so much you can actually do on your phone versus what can be computed on the PC. But I know that there'll be a mobile compatibility for some of the stuff coming soon.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. The next question here is what excites you about the blockchain space moving forward, considering that the space moves along so rapidly?
Well, I'm sort of one of those what's the word? Maybe overly optimistic that the blockchain does carry with it the promise of redefining the future in a more positive way. I'm also not overly optimistic. Like I recognize that it's possible that all these fantasies we have about the blockchain bringing all this positive change into the world may just be another tool for the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. Or actually, a better way to put that is for wealth inequality to increase. But I hold out hope that over the long run, this is a force to address poverty around the world. I also hope it's a force uh, to remove some government control from places where they control too much. I'm not a person who thinks government shouldn't control anything because I don't think that works in society. I'm not a complete anarchist. I think there needs to be a balance, and I think over time governments control too much and overregulate places and stifle innovation and ruin people's lives for no reason. And I think blockchain has a promise of creating structures, especially DAOs and things like that, where they don't even have a choice and they're not asking the question of how you mess things up. So I think I'm hoping they bring this balance. And by the way, projects like CryptoZoo are amazing ways to develop the technologies, the communities, the education, the belief in the underlying technologies of pushing more and more towards decentralization, more and more towards moving value around using blockchains and educating the world through fun and entertaining experiences. And so the more we do that, the more, even though it is a fun gaming environment for everybody, we hopefully are building the thing for something that is going to change the world for the better. And right now, I'm a believer in that.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't agree more about the control and all that. Next question here is: are there any plans to integrate Trust Wallet within the DApp?
Yes, we started with MetaMask just to take care of the number one thing people use. But once again, in the same way that I was talking about mobile, I can't promise a date. That has been asked for. That is on the list of trying to figure out our priorities requests. So I hate to say it, but I don't have a date for it. But it is, and by the way, we haven't. I have to ask some of the developers. There's a chance it's quite easy because we use abstraction libraries to call wallets. So there's a chance that it will not be a difficult thing. It might be more about testing than it is about development. So if it's that, then hopefully it can be slipped into a release soon. Part of what we're trying to do is prioritize the big releases that have to have certain major milestones. But then what you try to do is you try to slip in a few of the nice things as well. Otherwise, you build up too many little annoying things the community wants without ever doing them. So they'll never get prioritized over the big things. So you try to balance out big releases with some of the little things. So that's the type of thing that really should be slipped in there sometime in a near future release, but can't give a date yet.
Awesome. Yeah. And another question here that a lot of people are kind of wondering is with ducklings, when do you think the ETA is for when ducklings will be able to breed with one another?
That's a funny question. You should ask the ducklings why they seem to not be interested in each other. But maybe got to put lipstick on them. The answer to that is I don't know if I'm trying to figure out how to properly answer that because of all the combinations. Duckling with duckling was special, and it's special for a reason. And I don't want to reveal that reason because I haven't been given permission. But because it's special, it required a little something different that didn't make it into the last release. So I don't know exactly when, but I do believe that day will come, and those who are waiting for it will discover why when it comes.
Terrific. And then the last written question duckling here. What was that?
Yeah,
it is ugly duckling.
Yeah, well, that's one theory. Everyone can share their theories on why ducklings are special.
And then the last question here is, will the official CryptoZoo marketplace eventually have auction capabilities, and if so, when?
Right now, auctioning is not on the roadmap. And eventually, this roadmap should be primarily determined by listening to the community. So if we're hearing a huge amount of noise that auctioning is the biggest missing feature or whatever, then it'll become a priority. But right now, because we are shooting for things in the future, from releasing gaming experiences to metaverse experiences to go on and on, that auctioning is not trivial. It involves quite a bit to get a good decentralized auctioning system going. So yeah, that's the answer. It's not, we're not planning right now. If someone in the community wanted to build such functionality, it might be an opportunity for them. Actually, I don't know if I'm in a position to offer that up, but I'll just state it that way. Not saying that we could support you in doing that, but it is possible that would be a direction to end up with those features in the long run.
Greg, I remember talking about it with you. Some of the research had to do with holding people's money and the legalities of that, of how that works.
Yeah, that is a part of it.
That's part of it. And then the complexity of it versus buy now. Obviously, we wanted to get it out Skip and the marketplace as fast as possible, just like the mobile. So I think it's possible. And then Greg brought up a good point is I look forward to, and the goal is to have people like yourself, Skip, participating and building with us and on top of what we have. We have plans for that. It's not rolling out just yet, but Greg, I don't think you're wrong in saying that, hey, if there's builders out there, software engineers out there, we're always looking for people and ideas. So don't hesitate to reach out, and hopefully we'll be building some sort of portal for those type of things.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool, because one of the things I'm really focused on right now is, some of is really trying to help motivate and inspire and provide the resources to other community members to build stuff on it. We have the Zoology guys, and we have my partner Spencer and I, and we're just trying to plow ahead. So it's awesome that CryptoZoo is giving us the resources for that.
Yep.
Awesome.
Empowering community members is the most important thing.
Couldn't agree more. So that's all the official questions we have for Greg. Ben, is there anything else that you wanted to ask Greg about?
I don't have any questions. Thank you so much, Greg, for coming on here and hanging out with us. You did great, and
no problem.
Really appreciate
thank you all. Thank you, everyone who is a part of this community. Super excited to keep pushing it in more and more exciting directions, and this was great. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. I guess we'll start.
Everybody give clapping hands to Greg in the chat.
I saw them going.
All the little mini hands. All right, Ben, you want me to start with some questions for you?
Lay it on me.
Perfect. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I'm ready.
All right. First one's an easy one. When will the white paper be updated to reflect the most accurate and current information?
So right now we're currently updating and getting closer to final decisions on the gameplay. We're currently looking to update the white paper within the next few weeks.
Awesome. And then kind of on the same note, is there going to be an updated roadmap? And if so, when?
Yeah, so we're looking to update the roadmap alongside the white paper. And the reason that is because this project is, constantly developing and growing. The space is constantly growing and developing. And obviously we want to be cognizant of both our competitors and what the community wants. So we're looking to release the roadmap alongside the white paper. But however, we also do want to make sure that we're constantly modernizing the project and keeping things fresh.
Awesome. And then in addition to an updated roadmap, some members of the community were asking if there could also be a list of goals that the team wants to achieve, something that's kind of more short term, like a bi-weekly or monthly goal list?
I think a
I think that's-
roadmap.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible, Ben. I'm sorry, jumping in as well.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I like the idea of a monthly type of check-in. It's a great idea. I'm just thinking it through, as you asked that question, and just thinking about all the things that change over the course of the time. So it's like those things I would assume, Skip, have to be locked in and uh, and guaranteed, rather than a little bit more loose and changing. But I think it's a good suggestion, and let us go back and discuss internally, along with Greg and his team, and make sure that we can actually deliver on that.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think for the goals, I think kind of the whole point behind the goals is to have something that's loose, something that, people don't take as hard as they do with the deadlines on the roadmap, just kind of to get insight on where the team's head is thinking.
Makes complete sense.
All right. So the next question on here is there an ETA for when the exclusive one-of-one NFTs will be airdropped?
The simple answer is soon. No, I'm just kidding. So we compiled all of the information for the airdrop for the one-to-one NFTs. And for those of you guys who don't know what the one NFT is, it's the first person to hatch a given animal who owns the first hatch animal or hybrid. And we're going to be looking to airdrop these one-of-one NFTs alongside the updated roadmap.
Awesome.
So for clarification purposes, so when we release the updated roadmap, we will be airdropping the one-of-one holders their one-of-one NFTs.
Perfect. And then the next thing on here is there an ETA on the first official minigame? And they also were asking if they could have any sneak peeks or tidbits of information about it.
For sure. So currently there's a few different avenues that we're exploring and finalizing, and we're kind of bouncing around what we're looking to deploy first. In regards to a sneak peek, it should be fairly soon. We just want to make sure that we know exactly what we want to release in chronological order.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And the next thing is, when can the community expect to see detailed information on what exactly Vatom is building for CryptoZoo, as it relates to the metaverse, also mini games, but you kind of touched upon that.
Yeah, so for more like intricate details, the best answer that I can give to everyone is to it'll be updated. It'll be in the updated roadmap and white paper. So more prefer probably so both like the details of the mini games and when they're scheduled to be released will be in the updated roadmap and white paper.
Also, Skip, like Greg said, it's we have deliverables on the roadmap, then we have these other additions that we continue to try to pepper in. So hopefully we'll have some of those little additions, and we could possibly do that monthly goal list that could include these type of things in there.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody loves the little juice, the little confetti and all that stuff. That's makes a big difference. So that stuff's pretty cool. All right. And then this might be something for either Ben or you, Jeff. Are there any plans for a charity aspect to this project where small distributions of certain actions are actually donated to wildlife charities?
Yep. We've since the beginning, we've always said that we'd love to do that. We want to help our planet, including the animals that inhabit it, including us. We've talked to some over the course of months and just having conversations with them, picking the right ones. Some in the ocean space, some in the land space, possibly some stuff in Africa. But it hasn't been finalized yet. Obviously, we want to make sure that we get the project really steaming and going ahead, as we've had some time of figuring this out and learning as we go. But yeah, definitely we'd love to do that, and we're going to.
Perfect. Yeah, that's super cool. I'm excited to hear what the plans are for that. Next question we have is a few people were wondering what ended up happening with the funds that were from the original mint of the Gen 1 eggs. Kind of what the plan is for those.
Yeah, some is has been used for development. Some of it is used for operations and just keeping stuff going. There's monthly cost for site and servers, etc., like that stuff. And then there's some left over for the future development. So some of it has been deployed, some of it is deployed for what's coming out next, and then there's some left over for the future.
And so currently, there's some zoo tokens that are from the burns from people breeding since breeding was released. Those are currently in a temporary wallet, but what are the plans, and is there an ETA for when those are going to be sent to the legitimate burn wallet?
Yeah, we're working on completely automating the system to burn these tokens. We're going to be burning the tokens, and so once we complete this, so every time there's a transaction in the marketplace, someone hatches an egg, cools down an egg, etc. Once someone pays for zoo, a portion of the fee is supposed to be burned. And initially it has not been automated yet because, like Greg previously said, we wanted to minimize the amount of moving parts we have had on release. But with that being said, we're working on the automated system to burn these tokens, and the tokens that are currently pending to be burned will be burned once we complete the full-on automation. And then moving forward, it'll be continuously burned.
Awesome.
We just
And
thought,
then,
Skip, we just thought about it as like, hey, that could be a nice, milestone. Maybe not called a milestone, but just some sort of finalization of the automation, and then a celebration. Hey, we've gotten that to be automated. Make the announcement, and by the way, all the stuff that's in that wallet is now burned.
yeah, definitely. That sounds like something really cool for.
If it was not, if it's not the smartest idea, open for discussions and conversations on it, but that's kind of where we've made a decision on.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I like that. I think it's really good for marketing to push it out there and basically say, here's how much we're burning, and have a little almost like with the hatching day. So I like that. Next question here is related to the tiered rewards. Ben, a short time ago, you mentioned that there were going to be tiered rewards for zookeepers. People were just wondering when that's going to be like officially rolled out and announced to the community.
Yeah, we're currently deliberating on the best road forward for rewarding long-term zookeepers. The tier reward system will be further explained when we release the roadmap, the updated roadmap.
Skip, that was always part of us recognizing and know community is the most important, and those long-term people that have stuck with us should be rewarded. And now that we're finalizing and getting to a place where we kind of know where the roadmap in the future lies for what we're building, we can align it properly with what's going to come out. So had we done it earlier, it would have looked different than what it is going to look like now. So
Awesome.
I know it's been a delay in it, but I think it's better for it to align with what is going to be, what's going to happen in the gameplay and in our world, in our ecosystem.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what's going to go on with that. The next question here we have is, what is the reason for Logan's recent abs from CryptoZoo Community? And kind of when can the community expect to hear from him on a more personal level?
Yeah, it's a great question. I want to add real quick that Logan just recently, yesterday, spoke with a guy named Tim Copeland. Briefly discussed CryptoZoo with him yesterday. So you can go visit Tim Copeland's Twitter page. But Jeff is more formidable to answer that question for sure.
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah, no problem. It's community was just kind of wondering what the reason is for Logan's recent absence, and kind of when everybody can expect to hear from him on a more personal level.
Yeah, I mean, we've had hiccups with the project that caused us to go a little more internal and make sure that we focused on the build, focused on bringing in the right partners that could execute on our vision. We had issues with former developers, people part of the project. So we had to kind of clean that up and make sure that we really had a good foundation forward. I'm still excited about the project. I know that Tim, he did talk to Tim about it. I know that there are some of the zoo holders and keepers that have joined some of the other projects that are happening. And we see the project that he's involved in the crypto space different than each other. I'd call this the community slash gaming and hopefully metaverse play. Liquid Marketplace, if you know about it, is, and if you don't, it is a collectible focused project. And I'm sure everybody's seen the 99 Originals, which is more of a art project. So all different, but obviously in the same category. And I think in the near future, as we really ramp this up and things start to come out, you'll see him very vocal and involved.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, I know the community definitely can't wait. And I'm looking at the Discord chat right now, and everybody's super excited with what you just said, and it's very promising. Next question I have on here is related to contests, giveaways, and kind of other fun activities. If there's any plans in the near future to have some to benefit the community.
Sorry, can you ask that question one more time?
Yep. The community was just kind of wondering in the near future if there's going to be contests, giveaways, or other fun activities like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're currently planning something for Easter, right? So CryptoZoo, and we have eggs. So we figured Easter is a great way to host a really cool event. We're going to announce it in the coming few days, which is going to be kind of like a contest. I think people will really, really like it. Something to bring the community together, and definitely want to continue based on the feedback that we get from this next contest. Definitely want to continue doing these types of things and get the community engaged with one another and build some really, really fun stuff. Because at the end of the day, the reason projects are so valuable is because of one thing and one thing only, is the community. And I recognize that, we recognize that, and we want to engage with the community. We want the community to be engaged with one another in the best way possible. So we're going to be in the next few days, we're going to be announcing something for Easter, and it's going to be really fun and super cool.
Awesome. Perfect. And then are there any, let's see. So this one says there are some speculations that the CryptoZoo riddle has actually been solved already. People were wondering if this is true, and if so, when does the team plan to formally announce it?
So in regards to the riddle, we're going to be speaking. I'll be speaking about it. Obviously, I didn't make the riddle, so I need to make sure that the person who won the riddle is the person or people who solved the riddle actually solved the riddle, and I will circle back and update everybody on whether or not that's the case, and we will stand to our word and reward people for solving the riddle. But for now, I'm not aware that the riddle is solved, but I could be wrong. I do need to circle back and let you guys know.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that even once it gets solved, I'd say just as far as marketing, it's probably best to wait until the big marketing campaigns start to kind of use that as a big marketing push. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with that.
There was multiple people that are involved in that because of keeping the protected, so that not one person would be able to solve it. That was our kind of protection of it. So
I see what you mean.
There's a few people that have been putting riddles out or making each riddle, therefore protecting the ability for anybody that was involved helping with the riddle, make sure that it was done and solved by a community member and not by somebody that was a part of it.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. So like for instance, say there's 3 or 4 different sections to the overall riddle that that one person only knows their part and not the other parts.
Correct.
Awesome.
And I think if you were involved in it or playing in it, you can kind of see that.
Yeah, definitely. I've had way more time involved in that riddle than I probably should have. And there's the music sections, there's the technology sections, there's
Exactly.
sports, celebrities, it covers it all, zoos, everything. So yeah, huge props to whoever the people were involved that came up with that riddle. I mean, I speak for everyone when I say that is the hardest riddle that has ever existed.
And yeah, I think if this one is done, like Ben said, confirming it, then hopefully we can continue that legacy of the project and maybe start another one.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Next question is someone wanted to know if future AMAs could be held in Vatom's metaverse. I kind of have some input on this. For AMAs, I think in the long term, having it in a Vatom space would probably be awesome. But short term, just it's more accessible when it's over Twitter Spaces, and everybody gets the alerts. Everybody can have the easy link to it. So for now, definitely Twitter Spaces are probably the way to go. But definitely a good thought on that.
We'd like to do it. Hopefully, eventually, that is held in the zoo space. And there's just complexities to it. There's the ability to have X amount of people there, the adoption of it. So I do agree with you, Skip. In the short term, let's keep them here, and hopefully we can transition them eventually to the zoo space.
Awesome. And then
can't promise, but
yeah, of course.
we hope.
Next question here. People are wondering if there's an ETA for the Gen 2 egg drop, and if there is an ETA on that, kind of if it's been decided what the egg drop is going to be, and kind of some information around that.
Yeah, we've always planned on doing a second egg drop. The date hasn't been finalized yet. In regards to the contents of the egg drop, they have been discussed and they've been drafted, but like I said, not finalized. So we'll see. We're kind of moving around with some stuff, but it's been the date hasn't been finalized, but the content for the second egg drop has been prepared, and we have we have visuals of what we want it to look like.
Awesome. And then someone included in that question a suggestion / question on if there could be a goose. So you don't have to answer that, but I'll just leave that with you. I think we all know probably who asked that question. Next question here is: will Gen 2
the
golden goose?
I like it. No, there's always been the goal for future egg releases. Obviously, figure out how the first ones, are Gen 1s and how that operates in the ecosystem. Making sure that people that bought those and are collecting those, it doesn't just get diluted because there's more. Time happened to help us as we see other projects of what they're doing in releases. And once again, I think it just coincides with now the vision of where we're going, what we're going to be delivering in the future and the near future, and making sure all of that works together. Really, in the beginning of this, it was the early days of NFTs, and now the NFT space has materialized and given us more ammunition and ideas to help build what we're going to build.
Awesome. And then with those Gen 2 eggs, it might not be planned out yet, but do you think there's going to be a similar one-of-one reward program for those first hatches from the eggs?
Just don't know, to be honest with you. That might be something that just stays with the Gen 1 and keeps it special. And maybe Gen 2 and further have different things. But that really hasn't been thought about. I really don't, have a final answer. Obviously, we'll go back to the drawing table of when we release them, how we release them, and what stuff can be involved in them. But
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
you could see where this could go, right? There's so many different animals and different species that we could do, and hopefully we can get there. Hopefully that would be awesome, is to have reptiles and have dinosaurs and have a whole drop that's all aquatic. Maybe it's all rainforest, or maybe there's both of them, in one drop. So
Awesome.
we hope that can get there and we can get through it,
Yeah,
as many as
definitely.
possible.
Perfect. And then next question here is a little bit on a different topic. People kind of wanted to know what the status of CryptoZoo's verification is for OpenSea.
So in regards to the verification status for OpenSea, they've made us aware that CryptoZoo is going to be eligible for once we're able to hatch the ETH eggs, which was just very recently. Right now, we're waiting confirmation for that verification. Shouldn't be too far off.
Perfect. Yeah, I know that'll definitely make a lot of people happy. Next question here is.
I remember in the beginning that we were pushing for that, and for some reason, I don't know their rules and regulations, but it had to do with the NFT actually materializing. I guess there were other projects that had, call it like maybe blurs or hidden NFTs behind the one were like minted. So that was their rule, and I do remember that happening early on.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple projects where that ended up kind of going wrong. So that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it was frustrating, major frustrating in the beginning because of the egg drop. There were so many people that were like, "Oh, which egg is ours?" And I bought a different egg. And all I can say with that is it gives a good segue and leeway into just making sure that you guys, in general, I think in this whole space is really pay attention to the project's socials and what's being the information given by the project. It may take a little more time to search and find the information sometimes, but don't do something that that you're not sure of. That's on our project. Everything and information will always come from us. Anything that's verified by us will come from our socials or our website, and that should be true to any other project that you guys are interacting with.
100%. What's ironic, actually, is when we first launched when we first did the egg drop. I know Mike bought I think it was like 2 or 3 eggs that weren't CryptoZoo official. So sometimes people get excited, and just like Jeff said, make sure you follow our socials and stuff like that, so we can guide you in the right direction. Our safety with the community is 100% the most important part of our jobs, and just wanted to reiterate that you can find the most up-to-date information on all of our socials.
Perfect. Yeah, it's always tough whenever looking at like the Discord or Telegram chat or something, and you see that someone was scammed, and it's just really feels bad. So yeah, definitely want to get that all settled.
Feel bad, but once again, just like you gotta do the research. You gotta pay attention. That's a lesson for life.
Yeah.
Not to be cruel or direct, but
yeah.
And another example is that scammers are they think so outside the box. Like when we did our egg drop, there was these hammers, like golden hammers or something like that, and they said if you use this hammer on the egg, you increase your rarity. And what's wild is that people bought these hammers. So guys, if there is no hammer on our official socials, or there is no on our Twitter or website or whatever it is, then it's more than likely a scam. And if you still have questions, feel free to pop into the Discord. We have mods in there that can answer your questions, and I'm there that can answer your questions. And it's a really, really good and warm community. So, pop in there, and better to be safe than sorry, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a good reminder to people to in the Discord use only the links that are in the official links channel. That's really the best place you could go. So awesome. So let's move on from that one. Next question is, what are the plans for having the contracts verified on BSC and Etherscan? And if there's plans for that, what's the ETA?
So in regards to getting all of the contracts verified on BSC Scan, the main reason so to answer this question in short is we're looking to verify all the contracts and stuff like that around the times of our white paper and roadmap. And the reason that we're doing this is to encourage third-party developers to build around CryptoZoo and on top of CryptoZoo. So that's kind of we're doing it and why we're doing it.
All right. And then that was actually the final question out of the official questions, is some discussion topics. Someone did put a kind of interesting question in main chat a little while ago. That's just a good one to ask. It's kind of cool. Could I kind of start off a discussion with it too? King E posted saying, "Will the last unhatched egg? So if there ever is one unhatched egg for Gen 1 left, could it potentially make it onto Liquid Marketplace?" So it's kind of cool thought.
If there's one left at the end forever, you're saying, and that's the last one, could it make it there?
Yeah, essentially that's what they're saying. And I don't know if I don't know if
Liquid... we don't own the eggs, so it would have to be that person who bought it, right? Would have to want to list it on there. I don't see why it wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, definitely. So, Kingy, there's your question. If you own the last unhatched egg, you can list it on Liquid Marketplace if they allow it to be listed on there.
Guys,
right.
I have to go. I appreciate you guys once again, and Skip, Greg for joining us, and appreciate the community. We'll be continuing to do this, continue to update everybody. Hopefully, we can do what Skip you suggested and have the monthly checklist, and also answer all these questions with a little more guarantee of ETAs and dates coming soon. But working hard behind the scenes, happy with the people that are joining the project to help us build it and where we think it will go. It's going to take time. From my learnings in the space of technology, it's, if you think it's going to be a month, it's going to be a month and a half or two. And of course, we're trying to do everything we can to push everybody harder, to deliver faster. But this is something of a long haul for us, and we're excited to continue to deliver and appreciate the patience and you guys being involved and wanting to continue to be involved. That support means a lot, and that's kind of what drives us to continue to build this thing into wherever it could go.
Sensei Jeff is a legend.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for coming on.
Yep. Got to go take care of my daughter. That's where I'm going.
Awesome. Tell her the Zoo community said to say hi.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. All right. There you have it, everybody. Jeff.
We can continue. I want to, I know Chase requested to ask a question, so let me just unmute him real quick.
Perfect.
And then we can continue.
I just did for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
What's going on, Chase?
Hey, just figuring out to get my mic on. So, guys, it's so awesome to have Jeff join us and just show how committed they are, and the past is the past, and him and Logan the past 2 days being transparent about the stuff that's happened with bad developers and partnerships in the past, but they've pushed through all that behind the scenes and continue to drive forward. So, question, Ben, is in regards to Vatom, how were they? I hadn't heard of them. So, how did that partnership come about? And what kind of partnership is that? Is that an equity deal, or are they just being paid directly, or what does that partnership look like?
Yeah, for sure. That's a really good question. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Really, really appreciate it, man. So in regards, how does the CryptoZoo Vatom partnership work? It's more so kind of like we decided to partner up with them, and they really loved our projects. How were they introduced to us? Basically, individual named Daniel knows Vatom very, very well, and he was introduced to us. Daniel was introduced to us through a very, very successful guy who's huge, and he knows that we wanted a very formidable dev team to build CryptoZoo. So he hooked us up with Daniel, and in return, Daniel hooked us up with Vatom, and we've been best buddies ever since. So big shout out to Vatom. They're great. In regards to how does that work? It's more so on kind of like when there's so we have certain specifications that we give to Vatom. So for example, they build the marketplace, and they have to maintain it and all that stuff. So they asked, like, for example, we can give. So we have a dev wallet, right? We have tokens, and we'll send them some tokens, and those tokens are vested. I don't want to get too much into the nitty and gritty, but for the most part, it just kind of depends on a case by case basis on what it is that we're looking to build. So, thanks so much for your question. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. And I love that. It sounds like you've structured it in a way that they have skin in the game and they want to grow the ecosystem, and it'll benefit them and benefit us, and everybody wins.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing more than we want for this thing to win. Like Jeff said earlier, there's you got the 99s, the liquid marketplace, and you have CryptoZoo, and so we want everything to win, because that's just the best look, and that's how it should be, right? So yeah, we've had our ups and downs, just like everything in life, it's like a roller coaster, but eventually you reach a critical mass, and that's what we're looking to do.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Chase. You're a legend.
Awesome. So next thing here is just some discussion topics. So people kind of wanted to know if you or Logan or anybody else on the team have animals, have bred them, and what are some of your favorites?
Yeah. So I've always said. So I will say this: I'm a very, very fair guy, and I know obviously why the ducklings haven't been bred, and it's been so hard for me to be that to not buy a bunch of ducklings, and I'm not going to do it because I'm a fair guy, and I think this is something that is for the community. So my favorite animal is the ducklings, but I have forbidden and banned myself from buying any ducklings. With that being said, my favorite hybrids probably come from the bears and the panda family. I think they're super cool. It's like a liger, when you breed a tiger and a lion, you get the liger, and so you breed a panda and a bear, you get a. Today I tweeted out a banda. So that's kind of one of my favorites. Haven't bred any, but I do have base animals, but I have forbidden myself from buying ducklings, just because I don't think it'd be fair, and I'm all about transparency and fairness. So you guys will see why they're my favorite, and I want you guys to enjoy it. So
awesome, very cool. Do you know if you happen to know if Logan's bred any animals yet, and what his favorites are?
I'm not sure, actually. Honestly, I don't know, to be honest with you. That's actually really funny that you asked me that, because I've never asked that question, and I don't know why I haven't asked that question.
I know in the October AMA, I think he said it was the bear and the gorilla? I think that's what it was. I think those two formed his favorite hybrid at the time, but I'm sure things have probably changed since then. Let's see. Next thing here is what do you think is going to be the most sold hybrid? It's kind of hard to answer that question just because it depends on so many different things. It depends on. I don't even know if there's an answer.
The things about the hybrids is that they're very individually tailored for a person's liking. Like, some people don't like butterflies, right? Some people don't like insects. Some people love insects. Some people love butterflies. So that's the whole thing about the hybrids, is that they're individually tailored, to a person's own taste, right? Hybrids are like a fine wine. There's a bunch of them, and some people will like and some people don't like. Which ones can I speculate on that are going to sell the most? You know what my answer is going to be. I can't comment on price action. So, and to be fair, the better answer is I don't know. So we'll let the community and the ecosystem decide that.
Awesome. And I think the one question that everybody is wondering right now, and they keep asking, and you keep using this popular word that keeps going around, but is there any ETA on when you're going to post your thread on Twitter? And you're not allowed to use the word soon.
So I'm going to reply with noose, because soon backwards is noose.
It could also be nose with double O.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're not posting it?
I think so. So let me give a little bit of insight on Threads. I think Threads give a very quick but detailed overview of a project, and they can do very good justice for a project. And I know that usually when you do a thread, you write one up and you can't constantly write a thread about the same thing over and over again because it's there's only so much you can say in one thread. I'm a very big believer that there is a time and place for everything. I know everything that I'm going to write on the thread. I actually have it written down and typed up. And if I wanted to publish it, I can publish it after this AMA. But I won't because I think it's a very valuable insight into CryptoZoo, and I would love for there to be more people to absorb that insight. So I'll wait, and when the time is right, I promise you, I'll make that thread.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I mean, also with you kind of touched upon it with so many different things changing, and some people having ideas that are implemented into the project that you wouldn't want to post the thread and then have things change or things that you wanted to add, and so it does make sense to hold off on it until the time is right. All right, and then kind of talking about now just community projects in general. There's the stud farm by the zoology team. What are your thoughts on that? And if Jeff and Logan are familiar with some of these projects, what were their reactions?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I really think that community building is far more powerful than dev team building. That's just my personal opinion. And the reason for that is because the most powerful projects in the world are all community built. So I've been very adamant on encouraging and facilitating that conversation for community built projects. I know we got Zube. You guys are planning to launch that. I don't know when, but you guys are planning to launch that, which is kind of like an auction house type-esque eBay thing for CryptoZoo. I know Snags over at Zoology Tools. I don't know if he's in here. If he wants to come talk a little bit about that, but he actually showed me a demo the other day. Looks really cool. Basically, Snags is building a stud farm that people can put up their hybrids. Their base animals and stud them out, and basically request a zoo fee for using somebody else's animal. And on top of that, a really cool feature as well is you don't even have to own a base animal. You can breed two different animals that you don't own, right? So, for example, let's just say I have a kitten and you have a butterfly, and Jake has no animals, right? He hasn't hatched an egg or he hasn't bought one. He can pick and he can choose my butterfly and your what animal did I say you had? Pug, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
He choose your pug, and he can breed them together. So you don't have to own an animal as well to use the stud farm, which is also a really cool idea. So overall, I think nurturing, and there's a bunch that you can do for CryptoZoo and building around the project. Considering the fact that the NFTs are so rich in data. They have all of these attributes. They have all of these. They have breeds. They got cooldowns. They have the system that you can build around CryptoZoo is massive. And so I want to do everything I can in my power to excuse me, encourage community members to build on top of and around CryptoZoo for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. The past few days have really been great for, I'll call it the builder community, between myself, my partner Spencer, Senzen, and the Zoology guys and Neutron. There's been a lot of cool things going on in the official Discord server, and sections created. If you guys haven't seen it, there's sections for Zube, the arcade, and the stud farm in the Discord server. And there's like an alerts channel where you can click on that, and then you can choose which community built projects you want to receive alerts for. So when people post, like say I wanted to update the community on a new feature for Zube, I could go into my news channel and basically tag everybody with the special role that is for those alerts. So that'll be a really cool way for people who build projects for the whole ecosystem to talk to the community and really facilitate that. So huge props to you, Ben and Jeff and everybody else, and the mod team. Mod team's just crazy at work behind the scenes. I was fortunate enough to kind of get a behind the scenes look the past couple of days at what goes on with the mod team, and I'll tell you guys, like, a lot of people hate on them because they have to enforce rules, and when people do the wrong things, they have to sometimes mute them, sometimes ban them. But they do a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot of brainstorming that goes on. Like Ben mentioned earlier, the whole Easter contest is going to be a special thing related to Easter contest type of competition, and the mod team is just nonstop brainstorming in their special chat for that. So it's they really deserve to be appreciated and just given the utmost respect. So yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, so if any of the mods want to request to say a couple words, you're more than welcome to request. If not, then that's okay too. I know you guys like to talk. You guys maybe don't want to talk in the AMA, but in the mod calls you can talk for 5 hours.
Hey, I'm keeping an eye on the request right now to see if I see anything in there, but
it's all good.
Yeah.
I would honestly would not be able to do what I do in the community without these mods. You got Jake, Wes, Joao, Macho, my man Mark, Jason, Hooped. You guys are all awesome. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Let me know if I did. Skip, thank you so much for putting this together. I really, really appreciate it. I wanted to support you in your efforts as much as I can. So I made sure that the people who I thought should be here on this call were here, and this wouldn't have happened without you, man. So thank you from the team, and thank you on behalf of the community, man. We really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm just doing what I can to kind of help make all the stars align, and that's what it's all about. And I want to see a lot more people do put in the time and effort. I know people have jobs, and I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of time to be able to do things, and I stay up late and get up early in the morning to get my day job done and do this stuff and build the other stuff. But every little thing helps, and even if it's as little as going on Twitter and posting about CryptoZoo, little things like that just help the entire community. So shout out to everybody who participates in that. And honestly, I'm super impressed because I created the Zube Twitter. I don't even know how long ago, but like maybe a week ago or something. But within the first day, there were 100 followers. The first few posts had 50 plus retweets, and it has nothing to do with my ability to market. It has 100% to do with the community and how interactive you guys are on Twitter and how much you engage in all the content. It's really special, and you could tell. I've been a part of a lot of projects, and you can tell which projects are going to succeed and which ones aren't. And it's 100% related to the community and really how much they do to push the project along, because at the end of the day, you could build the best interface game system out there, and if there's no community to hype it up and talk about it, then it's completely irrelevant. So shout out to everybody.
100%. And I always anybody in the community audience that's listening and has experience building cool stuff, I'm very, very easy to talk to. Just come on in the Discord and send a message at me, and we can start up a DM. More than happy to help facilitate and nurture your mind to execute whatever it is that you want to do. We're all in this together, and this is an awesome community, and we've made a lot of good friends along the way, and we're going to continue doing that. I just can't wait.
Definitely. And real quick, I know we'll probably wrap up in a minute or two, since we're just under an hour and a half, I think. But yeah, with Zube, a lot of people in the chat were asking a few minutes ago when we were talking about that, when I plan on releasing that. My partner Spencer, Senzen, he's putting some final touches on the D app for that. So we're really hoping to launch it at some point next week. And then the arcade we kind of put on pause for a little bit just while we built Zube, just because it kind of seemed a little bit more relevant and important, and a lot of people were asking about it. But we have Zube. The whole platform is built. It's 100% finished. The first game that we had, that hatch scratcher game, we decided to scratch it. No pun intended. But it just wasn't really the vibe of a game that we want to showcase on the arcade. And for the whole target audience of CryptoZoo, it just kind of made sense to build something a little bit different. So we have the whole new game figured out. It's all designed. It's all ready to go. We're just waiting to actually code it for Zube to launch. So you could expect the arcade probably a month and a half from now. So something roughly along that pipeline. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated in the new chats that are in the Discord server. Yeah, and then a lot of people in chat are saying it, and I totally agree. Dude, Ben, nobody deserves a shout out more than you. You put your time and life into this, and you probably get the most hate out of everybody. You and the mods are probably pretty equal in the hate that you guys get, but for you guys to just keep pushing through everything and letting the hate deflect right off of you, it's really good. The whole community definitely appreciates it. So thanks so much, and thanks for making this AMA possible. Definitely wouldn't have been special without you, without people from Vatom. Not the people. Originally, there was going to be somebody else that I had in mind, but Greg was even better. And no offense to the other guy, but and having Jeff on this call was just unbelievable. So yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the team, and I think that's it. Unless you want to say something else.
Yeah, thank you for that, but no need. It's what I'm here to do. It's my when a soldier enlists for battle, he doesn't look for recognition. He just looks to get the job done. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Appreciate Skip. Appreciate it, mods. Appreciate it, community. You guys are amazing, and we're one big body, and we're all in the same. So no worries. It's don't even sweat it. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, there's definitely going to be more frequent AMAs. Whether or not I'm a part of the next one is up to multiple people and not me, but definitely going to push for more AMAs and try to get things rocking and rolling. So we'll leave it on that. And thanks everybody for listening.
Alrighty, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. And I know the second I'm going to get off this chat, you guys are going to ask me when's the next one, and
News.
I'll see you guys in the community. If you guys aren't aware, you can join our awesome, thriving, beautiful community over at discord.gg/CryptoZoo. And that's it. So thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate everybody tuning in, taking the time out of your beautiful, precious days, and listening in on this. We really appreciate your support, and very, very humbled by the community support. So thank you all so much.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Later. on the next one. And I know the second I'm going to get off this chat, you guys are going to ask me when's the next one, and
News.
I'll see you guys in the community. If you guys aren't aware, you can join our awesome, thriving, beautiful community over at discord.gg/CryptoZoo. And that's it. So thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate everybody tuning in, taking the time out of your beautiful, precious days, and listening in on this. We really appreciate your support and very, very humbled by the community support. So thank you all so much.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Later.